Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to build a brick barbecue just like this. It's a very simple build, which anyone can do. It's a case of building these little clips in, which support the grills. We just use an engineering brick, and keep watching to find out how we build it. So what we've got is a DIY barbecue kit, which is this. There's many different brick barbecue kits you can get on the market, but this is a pretty simple one. Basically, this is what we got. There's a couple of clips we build in to the brickwork to support the grills. Very simple. There's step-by-step instructions of how to build it. This is probably the simplest brick kit on the market. There is others available, but this will probably cover all the bases you need to know for any kit you buy. Okay, so the tools we need are levels. We've got a hammer and bolster, we've got a pointing bar, pencil, we've got a square, tape measure. Obviously we need a trowel, and we've got our mortar as well. The mortar we've got is 4:1 with a bit of plasticizer, and just make sure it's a good workable mix. You can either use a cement mixer or you can mix it up by hand. So we've got a standard engineering brick here. There's a good face to them and there's a not so good face. What we'll probably do is where you've got the back of it, we'll have the bad face. The inside will have the good face. But it depends on where you're going to see the barbecue from as to what side you want your face. You might get some bricks which are good on both faces, but you should really use an engineering brick because that'll stand the heat a bit better. We need to set this out first. So we know from the diagram we've got 4 bricks on the back and 2 coming out either side from it. So we need to set these bricks out with a 10mm gap between them all. And basically you need a measurement then. So we know 4 bricks should be around 900, but brick sizes do differ, so this is coming out slightly under that. So what we want to do, we want to just get a nice straight line on the back here. We're going to mark the end of that brick because that's where we'll get our returns off. We know then we can just mark a line through the back there. And we can just take the square off this line on that pencil mark. Like so. Do the same on the other side. Right, another thing worth noting is you need to make sure you're building off a good base. We know we got a good base under here because there's concrete underneath as a base. But if you're starting from scratch, then you want to be putting in at least a 4-inch concrete base with hardcore underneath that. So you don't want to be building off patio slabs, say with earth underneath or something, because your barbecue isn't going to be able to be supported. So we're just going to grab a smaller level, and then we're simply going to lay the first 4 bricks across the back now. So you want to just lay a little bed out. Try not to lose sight of your line, but it's not the end of the world if you do. Just want to lay the brick gently down onto your bed. Keep in sight of your line. Like so. And make sure you level that first one so you've got something to follow. Make sure you're pretty level across the top as well. And then we'll do the same with another brick. You put a perp on this brick then and just push it into the next brick, allowing for a 10mm perp. And then we keep repeating the process. You want to put a perp on this again. Basically you're looking for no voids in your perp there up to the next brick. Brick. And then if we grab the longer level, we want to just level all the bricks now. So you can tap the level or tap the bricks. Better to tap the bricks than your level. So once you're happy that your bricks are level, put your level in front of the bricks, just to make sure they're all perfectly in line, because you want to get this first course right, set you up for the rest of them. You can just take off any excess. Don't worry about taking it all off yet, because it's probably easier to do when it dries slightly. And take the excess off the back. Okay, so the next thing to do now, we need 2 bricks laid here. So lay yourself a little bed for 2 bricks. You just gently place that onto the brick there. And the next brick now, and we're just following our pencil mark on the outside there, so we can just level them off these bricks there. Also, what you want to make sure is these bricks are running in line with each other, but also you need to have a square and make sure they are running square from the original bricks you've laid. So we'll just adjust these to suit. One thing worth noting, the engineering bricks can be a bit higgledy-piggledy sometimes, so it's knowing what you can leave go. So we'll repeat the same the other side now. So we'll just push that in there, like so. Push this next one in. We'll just level these 2 here, like so. We'll level there, and we'll just square it up again off this run. We're pretty good there. Just check the end of that again. It's running slightly. You can see there how much that's actually. See, that's the brick that is. Got another thing to check is that you have the same distance from here to the front of the brick. So this one here is 445. This one there is 445, because you want these to be equidistant there. So now we've done the first course, we can do the next course, ensuring we've always got a half bond on the brick below. So again, we want to lay our bed. And you're always aiming for a 10mm bed. So you just want to place that brick down there. Place this brick there. Level them as well. So when we get to the end here, we're looking for a half brick. Now these engineering bricks can be a bit of a pain to cut. Brick on the end now. It's probably the inside all you want to see. And what we need to make sure is, as well as being level across the top, we are plumb on the end and also plumb on the inside, because we'll only plumb up one side of the brick, which will be the inside, because that's the side that matters for the grill. Now we're going to run the bricks across the back here. use the level just to level these bricks again. And then we just want to plumb either side. Okay, so that's our first 2 courses set out. Look at these instructions. We don't have to do anything different now until we get to our 7th course, which is where you put the clips in. So we're going to keep repeating this process until the 7th course, and then we'll put our clips in. One thing to remember as well is these joints will need pointing as the job goes on. When we get to that stage, we'll do the pointing. So now we've reached the 7th course, we can put in these grill supports. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 grill supports to put in. So we're just going to place these on the brick like so. We'll pull these out a touch as well, but we need a bit of mortar on them to be able to pull them out. Place them in roughly the same place. So now we just continue to build as normal. Not a lot else you can do with these really. So there should be a grinder on it. So we built these grill supports in. You can pull them out a tiny bit more just to give yourself a bit more support for that grill, because you want about half in and half out. Gives you plenty of what you want. So we'll just put it back on a time lapse now and get up to the next stage of grill supports. Right, so now we've reached the top of the 9th course. We can put in our next lot of clips. And this next lot of clips is for the actual grill then. So we'll have 2 heights to be able to adjust the grill height on. So the same process as before. Just want to put them in. We can plumb them up with the ones below. I'm going to put them in first. I can move them about a bit then when they're in the wall. Like so. So just repeat the process again. Same as before. A bit tricky to work around these. now got our last row of clips. Just put these in again. We can straighten all these clips up at the end as well, so don't worry if you hit any of them while you're building. We'll just repeat the same process, and this will be the last course sitting on top now. So what we'll do now, we can just plumb up these clips as they run in line with each other, and make sure they're all sticking out the same distance. For around 35. Just plumb these up here. Just makes it all look a bit neater when they're all plumbed up. They are a bit fiddly. Just do the same on the other side now. So the top of this wall can now be filled with cement, just to protect it from the weather. We probably will put a capping on this at some stage, a bit of slate or something. But for now, we're just going to fill the holes in, just to stop water sticking in the holes. So what we can do now is point the brickwork up. So we'll start from the top, work our way down to the bottom, a bit of mortar on the trowel. Do all the perps first. Like so. Pointing will make it look good and give it protection against the weather. And we're just using a jointing bar, which is available from most tool shops. Just get this spider out. So once you've done all the perps on one bit, you can do all the beds then. So it's a bit of a tight area to work in. Once you've done your perps and beds, then you want to tip your joints. Just to get the join out from between the two. So the next thing to do now, once it's all pointed up, is to brush it off with a nice soft brush. This is a horsehair brush. Just gently brush it. You don't want to brush it straight away after pointing if it's a bit wet. You don't want to streak it. Just give it a gentle brush. Just knocks all the little bits that are sticking off.
I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours.
Now everything's brushed off, we can put in our charcoal tray, and we'll put in our support for the charcoal. And now we can put in our grill there, which can also go on the next height up. So there we have it. We've got a DIY brick barbecue which anyone can have a go at building at. This took me around 3 hours, but then I do building every day, so I'd allow a day for someone that hasn't done it before. Obviously you can choose different bricks. So if you look on the side here, some of the bricks here at the back of them aren't so good to look at, so if you have a different brick you might get something a bit more decorative for both sides. And another thing to note is to just try and leave it at least 24 hours before cooking with it, because you want to leave that mortar set before any heat gets into it. That's how to build a brick barbecue. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you.
Life lessons come one in a dozen.